Hey BIMM, 2019 to 2020 year group. Hope we're all keeping well. Once again, thanks for showing up to the online classes and in-person classes. So as we already know, I'm here now today to do the next video in this Masterclass series. This time we're looking at the Goddess of Girl Group Music, which is the song that I've written about my celebrity crush, which is Little Mix member Perrie Edwards. So before I get on to that, I'm going to tell you how I first came across Perrie's name in the lyrics. So as always, I'm going to talk about how I got the title, I'm going to mention some of the lyrics, and then I'm going to mention and then I'll play some of the song for you. So, how did I first come across the name Perrie Edwards? It was during, I was in, I think, was it 5th year in secondary school? Well, I knew Little Mix on the X Factor, and then back in 2011, I didn't know anything about them for the first 4 years of their career. So 2012, I remember seeing the album cover of DNA, and I didn't think it was that good. I didn't think it was a good album cover. Didn't know anything about them during the Salute era, and then 2014 didn't know anything about them. But then one day the penny dropped in 2015. I knew, of course, the Get Weird album, and I remember seeing that album cover in the shops. And that was around the time when I started to know the members' names. And then it was in 2016, when they released Glory Days, I knew each member's name then. And then for 2017, I just knew all the members' names. In 2018, but around the time when they split from Simon Cowell's record label, Perrie became my celebrity crush in the end. And now it's been over 2 years now since she's been the celebrity crush for me. It's been over 2 years now. So that's the story of how I came across Little Mix in the end. So now the song itself, the Goddess of Girl Group Music. Why did I call it the Goddess of Girl Group Music? I kind of wanted to think of something that I pretty much wanted to think of something special in honor to think of what Perrie would be. So I just thought the Goddess of Girl Group Music, because Little Mix are an example of girl group music. I thought it would be nice to have something of girl group music, and I thought the Goddess would be a really good name. And also I think she's a deity as well, for like the amazing stage presence and the amazing voice she's got too. So that's how I got the title. Now for the lyrics. The opening, I think it's one of the best ever songs I've written, if not the best. Especially with the opening line that goes, 12 days before she was 5, I was ready to be alive. Meaning that her birthday is July 10th, 1993, and then my date of birth is June 28th, 1998, and that's 12 days before she was 5, and I was ready to be alive. So I think that's pretty cool. Then the next line goes, I knew of her since I was 17, and my life was ready to be beamed. Basically, I knew her name when I was 17. And it was, I think the first major image I saw of her was at the Good Morning Britain. It was around the time they were releasing Secret Love Song. And that's some of the great lyrics for that. And then another great lyric I have is, to me, she was born with the gift of a voice which made her turn her career into a choice. Meaning that her passion for being a singer would probably be her profession of choice. So, like, she always wanted to be a singer. Heck, she was even named after Steve Perry from Journey, which is the only reason why Journey are so successful to me. And I also have a line that goes, she has a very unique, powerful range. I hope that voice will never change. Like, when she gets older and if the voice starts to deepen, what's it going to be like when she hits that high note in Secret Love Song? Like every time I hear that range, the next line goes, it sends good shivers down my spine. Every time I look at her, she's so fine. Like, her voice gives me great shivers down the spine, and then when I look at a few pictures of her, she looks very fine, as do the whole group in general. But just using her as an example of how each girl group singer looks. I think it's a very well written lyric. Then another great lyric I have is, she's in the greatest girl group. I would hate to see her eat some soup. It would be different if she was ill, because usually if you're ill, you'd have to eat some soup. Then another line is, she makes the girl group sound unique. All her boyfriends have been acting the freak. Because obviously I get jealous sometimes, but I wouldn't be as jealous when they turn older. Because it could be, because that's the thing. Before you find your own true love, you tend to be jealous of the people who your celebrity crush dated. And then the next line I have is, it gets her mind and health so bad. It could, however, make her feel so sad, especially if the people were being nasty towards her. That's why when Dylan makes his track Love a Girl Right, with that line going, don't you treat her wrong, you better love a girl right. Because that's what you have to do in relationships. You have to love each other right. I just think it's it's the best lines I've ever written. And then, I'm going to be shadowed if she died. If I hear that, I would cry. And then her music would then have me hurt. It feels like I'll be buried in the dirt. Like if I hear, like sometimes when a true inspiration for you dies, sometimes their music can kind of hurt you a bit. Like you kind of have a bit of a different feel to it when they pass on. So that's all there really is in terms of lyrics. I just think it's the best song I've ever written, which is great. So, the music. So again, it was based on Bob Dylan's Talking New York from the first album. In his has a... Oh no, wait, I'll just check if I can... I'm going to see if I can get my harmonicas. I should have actually used that for Imagination Can Become Reality with the harmonicas. Just give me a second. One. That's my D harmonica. Hold on, my E harmonica should be here somewhere. Ah, here we go. Right. This is my neck holder. Ah. It gets kind of sticky after a while because I need to buy a new neck holder pretty soon. Okay. So, in Talking New York, Dylan had the, here's one went. Whereas I do it completely different. I actually make my own intro for that. Like I got inspired by having some kind of Dylan type song for Guys Girl Group music. Like for instance, in this one I go. Sorry. Mine goes like this. For I decided to change it up a bit. Instead of doing I decided to just make it the usual. And then I actually extend that intro by going like this. I have that intro very similar. That bit is very similar to Simon and Garfunkel's Leaves That Are Green with the turns brown. So I kind of included some Simon and Garfunkel elements in there too, which I think was pretty good. I forget how Dylan does the instrumental bit, but in my one, I use it like this. I go. So I kind of used a bit of a "Don't Think Twice, It's Alright" intro in the instrumental break in there, which I thought was pretty interesting, because I do like that song from Dylan. So, that's all there really is in terms of the song. I think it's a very well performed song. I have my own chorus, of course. The chorus going, Perrie Edwards is the female singer I adore. On my list of best looking singers, she gets a high score. Meaning that for all female celebrities, she'd be at the top of my list for the best looking. Then another line that goes, I wish that she belonged to me, then for me there's only her to see. When I say that, everyone knows it's just a fantasy. That's why in the near future you're going to hear a song of mine called Celebrity Crush Fantasies, which will be a song dedicated to all the people who've told me who their celebrity crush was, or is. So it's kind of like a song dedicated to everybody. And towards the end of the Guys the Girl Group music, I actually have a similar Don't Think Twice, It's Alright intro in there. Like I have it as a... I have that similar intro there, but I don't think Dylan used the... I also kind of do have a bit of a Love Mine is Zero, No Limit harmonica bit there, but obviously in a faster tempo. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, to the BIMM year group of starting in 2019, I'm coming up to the 1 year anniversary, which I played it at the open mic, which I thought was a very cool experience for me, because it was kind of that actually was the first time I started playing at open mics. Hoping they'll get to do one again when it's safe to do so, even though we can't in these uncertain times. So that's all there really is in terms of the song. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember to feel free to leave me any questions you have, or you can message me on Facebook if you have any further questions. And I shall see you all in the near future, and I'll see you next week for another Masterclass video. Take care, and bye-bye.